What up, Space Fam? Goes in here for AnimeUproar, and today I have a video that was requested by a bunch of you. I had so many comments asking me to do How Strong is Inosuke that I had to make this video next. So far we have How Strong is Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Nezuko videos, and now here's the Inosuke video. If you guys want to keep these videos coming, let me know by smashing that like button. If we can get 4,000 likes, I will start on the next one right away. I love doing these videos, so I have no problem making them for as long as you guys want to see them. On Instagram, I've created a story where you can vote for which character, Muzan or Giyu, I cover next. So make sure to follow us at AnimeUproar on Instagram and vote on the story ASAP since it will disappear after 24 hours. I will link our Instagram in the description and in a pinned comment, and I will do these kinds of votes in the future, so make sure you're following us there at AnimeUproar. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you actually get notified when future Demon Slayer videos drop. A quick warning, there will be manga spoilers in this video, since we will be looking at all of the evidence available in order to figure out exactly how strong Inosuke is. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it. Inosuke is a manly man with a girly face. He's a very unconventional Demon Slayer in the sense that he goes around shirtless, only wearing the lower half of his uniform. He is a dual wielder, using 2 swords rather than just 1, and as we know from Zoro, using multiple swords is pretty dang cool. He also wears a boar mask that used to belong to his adoptive boar mother. This has got to be a nod to the Pokemon Cubone, who wears the skull of its dead mom over its face. Now see guys, even anime directed primarily towards children like Pokemon can get pretty dark. Anyways, back to Demon Slayer Cubone. Inosuke didn't have an easy upbringing. Inosuke's father was abusive, and his caring mom ran away from the dad and joined a cult, whose leader was Upper Moon 2 of all people. She eventually found out that Upper Moon 2 Doma was eating his followers, and she tried to escape. Doma eventually caught up, and in a last-ditch effort to save her baby son, she threw Inosuke into a river from the top of a huge cliff. Doma didn't think that the baby would survive, but he did, showing how resilient Inosuke was from the very beginning. Keep this in mind, cause this will pop up later too. From that point on, baby Inosuke survived Tarzan style, except he was taken in and raised by wild boars rather than gorillas. He was with boars most of his life before the final selection, so you could say he's a prodigy. He developed the Breath of the Beast style on his own. This is even more impressive when we consider that Yoriichi, the Breath of the Sun user and the first Breath user, is the one that created most of the other styles for other people, and then they passed those styles on to their successors. Meaning that Inosuke, like the strongest Demon Slayer Yoriichi, was able to develop his own style, and it's always a good thing to be in the company of Yoriichi, the most talented Demon Slayer in history. Inosuke passed the final selection, but he was off screen for that arc. He actually acquired his blades by fighting against demon hunters. In this way, he also heard about the existence of the demons and the final selection. Zenitsu reveals that Inosuke was the fastest person during the final selection to go up and down the mountain. He finally pops up when Tanjiro is fighting the Drumhouse demon. Inosuke quickly shows that he is a talented fighter. Unlike Zenitsu, who has to pass out in order to defeat his demon, Inosuke easily beheads his own demon opponent. Then, he beats the crap out of Zenitsu, but to be fair, Zenitsu doesn't fight back. However, Tanjiro catches Inosuke off guard and breaks his bones. Nevertheless, Inosuke can still fight with broken bones. Funny enough, all three, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu have broken ribs, but Inosuke has the most, an impressive 4 broken ribs. Still though, Tanjiro struggles with him. For Tanjiro, fighting Inosuke is like fighting a 4-legged beast. Furthermore, he notices that Inosuke is insanely flexible. Inosuke even pauses the fight to brag about his flexibility. Tanjiro ends up headbutting Inosuke, and though Inosuke seems fine and eager to continue the fight at first, he eventually passes out from a concussion. However, when he wakes up, he's ready to fight again right away, showing that he wasn't close to giving it his all in this battle, especially since they weren't using their blades. During the Spider Family arc, we get to see Inosuke pushed much further. He needs to fight what appears to be the physically strongest member of the Spider Family, the Father Spider Demon. Before the fight begins, Tanjiro makes it clear that Inosuke is seriously hurt, and Inosuke even starts staggering from blood loss. So we should keep this in mind as we examine this fight. The Father Demon Spider is so strong that he lifts a tree, sends Tanjiro blasting off like Team Rocket, is practically unaffected by sword attacks, and Tanjiro even mistakes him for one of the 12 demon moons. All this happens before the demon even transforms into his more powerful form. Inosuke hits down on one blade with the other and manages to do what Tanjiro couldn't. He cuts straight through the demon's arm. That's when the demon sheds his skin and becomes bigger, stronger, and much tougher. Inosuke takes hits from the spider gorilla, but still manages to land a hit on his neck. The only problem is, the demon's skin is so tough his sword breaks. The demon takes Inosuke's neck into his giant hand, and before the demon crushes his spinal cord, Inosuke's life flashes before his eyes. Luckily, Giyu shows up and saves Inosuke before the demon can kill him. Interestingly enough, Giyu requires more slashes in order to kill the father demon than he does in order to kill Rui, the actual demon moon. Despite almost dying, Inosuke is okay enough to appreciate Giyu's amazing level of skill. Giyu was able to cut through the tough demon skin like it was tofu. Then, Giyu ties up Inosuke because despite his injuries, Inosuke still wants to fight Giyu in order to prove that he's the strongest. You gotta respect this guy's determination. In addition to having a hilarious dream where Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Nezuko are all his underlings during the Demon Train arc, we also see Inosuke chase someone out of his own unconsciousness. Normally no one should be in their unconscious area, but Inosuke is because he has a strong consciousness. Inosuke wakes up explosively before Zenitsu and Rengoku and helps protect the sleeping passengers on the train using his Mad Cleave technique, which is optimal when you're surrounded by enemies. Inosuke eventually goes with Tanjiro to defeat Lower Moon 1. When Tanjiro is about to accidentally kill himself to wake himself up because he thinks he's in a dream, it's actually Inosuke who tells him it's reality and stops Tanjiro from killing himself in real life. Inosuke and Tanjiro work together to finally cut the giant neck of the demon train and finish off Lower Moon 1. Lower Moon 1, as it's dying, can't help but comment on how extraordinary Inosuke's intuition was. When Upper Moon 3 Akaza shows up, Inosuke, like Tanjiro, is nowhere near strong enough at this point to fight him. Inosuke knows that he'd do nothing but get in the way if he jumped in to try and help Rengoku, but he does help rescue people from the train. By the time of the Red Light District arc, Inosuke and Zenitsu are strong enough together to tag team Upper Moon 6 Daki. Since Daki can turn her neck into a special bending fabric, they either need insane speed to cut it off, or they need to slice it from two different directions. Inosuke is perfect for this because he's a dual wielder. So Zenitsu helps protect him as Inosuke charges straight for Daki. He uses his jagged blades like a saw and succeeds in beheading the demon. He takes the head and starts running away with it, but Gyutaro, the stronger of the two demon moons, stabs Inosuke with his poisonous blade. What happened was, he managed to overpower the sound pillar and then catch Inosuke and the others off guard. Gyutaro even says he stabbed Inosuke in his heart. However, at the crucial moment, Inosuke comes and helps Zenitsu cut off Daki's head. He says, "Don't underestimate the suppleness of my body. Shifting the positions of my organs is just child's play," end quote. Another impressive skill that we can add to Inosuke's repertoire. He also claims that poison has no effect against a rugged mountain boy like him. However, this is to an extent Inosuke just talking big, as he tends to do, and he's actually suffering severely from the poison, until Nezuko helps him with her flames. Still though, Inosuke does recover from poison 7 days before Tanjiro. He is compared to a honey badger who has a thick hide like armor, and is fine even when he fights much stronger opponents like a lion. Poison doesn't work on it, so it can even eat poisonous snakes. Inosuke goes so far as to call himself immortal, which is a stretch, no pun intended, but he definitely does seem to have the most impressive pain/damage/poison tolerance out of any non-demon. In other words, his ability to survive, despite what happens, is extremely impressive. Then there's Inosuke's most important fight to date, which can best help to illustrate what he's capable of right now. Of course, I'm referring to the fight against Upper Moon 2, the second strongest Upper Moon. It is during this fight that Inosuke finds out that the Upper Moon 2, Doma, killed his mother. He drops one of my favorite quotes when he says to Doma, and I quote, "If hell doesn't exist, I'll create it for you," end quote. During this fight, Doma is impressed at how Inosuke uses his sharply sensitive skin to immediately sense the slightest chill in the air. He uses this ability to escape from Doma's blood demon art, which would freeze Inosuke's lungs otherwise. Still though, Doma doesn't go full power against Inosuke and Kanao. He has his ice clones fight them. This doesn't mean Inosuke is weak though. Remember that upper moons are supposed to be stronger than pillars, and Inosuke has to fight one of the strongest ones with the help of Kanao, a non-pillar herself. Against Akaza, Tanjiro had a pillar's help, namely Giyu, and against Demon Moon 1, the strongest pillars had to team up together. So the idea that Inosuke could beat Doma, who is supposed to be stronger than Akaza, on his own would have been unthinkable. Rather, we have to examine what he manages to accomplish during a seemingly unwinnable fight. Thankfully, help from a dead pillar eventually comes in the form of Shinobu's poison. Doma absorbed Shinobu and all the poison she was carrying in her blood, and it finally starts to take effect. Doma's face begins to melt like a witch in the rain. This is when the ice clones begin to break and Inosuke and Kanao can focus on attacking a weakened Doma himself. But keep in mind, a weakened Doma is still strong AF. The upper moon creates a giant bodhisattva statue out of ice. It covers a large area with its lung freezing air. However, Kanao notices that the technique is rough and lacks precision. Although powerful, it's a technique of desperation. Kanao uses the epic vermilion eye technique to make surrounding movements look slow and dull. This technique may cause her to go blind because the pressure it puts on her eyes, but she doesn't care. She gets close enough and starts cutting through the demon's rotten neck, but the freezing air begins to stiffen her arm. That's when the star of this video comes in. He uses his most elegant beast breathing technique called Sudden Throwing Strike and sends his blades flying towards Doma. His blades push into Kanao's, giving her the force she needs to cut through Doma's neck. This is one of the best fights in the entire series hands down. Kanao ends up losing her vision in one eye to get her revenge, and Inosuke manages to get his revenge against the demon for what he did to his mother. Again, Inosuke proves to be crucial in defeating a demon moon, and this time it's one of the strongest upper moons. So those are some of the notable things Inosuke has managed to accomplish up to this point. He's able to stay relevant strength-wise along with Tanjiro and Zenitsu. Demons and even upper moons have consistently been impressed by Inosuke's skills. They've singled out his extraordinary intuition, his flexibility, and his sharp sensitivity to changes in the air. He was born a prodigy who taught himself to fight and still became stronger than most demon hunters. He continued to progress, and it's clear that he is no longer that same Inosuke who knew he'd just get in the way if he fought someone as strong as Akaza. He fought Doma, who was stronger than Akaza was back then for sure, and played a crucial role in his defeat, although he obviously could not have done it alone. I'd argue that his ability to recover quickly is the most impressive compared to Zenitsu and Tanjiro. I also think that his power can still significantly increase when his Demon Slayer mark manifests. However, at the time being, I can't put him where Tanjiro or Zenitsu are in terms of power. Tanjiro, with his access to the see-through world and new non-self state, was able to overpower and unpoison Akaza, albeit it was only for a limited period of time. Zenitsu, on the other hand, beat an upper moon completely by himself. Now, Kaigaku wasn't used to his powers, and he was upper moon 6, but still, this was a truly impressive accomplishment. So far, with Inosuke, we haven't seen him shine on his own. Yes, he played an essential role in defeating Upper Moon 6 Daki and Upper Moon 2 Doma, so we can reasonably conclude that he is extremely useful and effective in team battles. However, I'd argue that Zenitsu was the star of the Daki fight, and Kanao was the star in the Doma fight, and Inosuke more so played a supporting role. Don't get me wrong, his role was vital, but he hasn't really gotten a chance to be the star of the show against a really strong opponent yet. Until that happens, I cannot put Inosuke on Tanjiro's or even Zenitsu's level yet. Still though, after the latest fight, Inosuke has arguably deserved to be called pillar level. After all, upper moons have killed many pillars in the past, and Inosuke not only managed to survive against multiple, but he helped to beat them too. I can confidently conclude at this point that he'd be a useful addition to any future demon fight, and I suspect that he'll get his moment to shine sooner rather than later. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed making it, and I got a newfound appreciation for Inosuke's hilarious personality. He's arguably the most entertaining character in the entire manga. If you like this video and want the series to continue, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. As soon as this video gets to 4,000 likes, I will start on the next one ASAP. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell, or else you'll definitely miss the next video when it comes out. And don't forget to vote for either Giyu or Muzan via my Instagram story at AnimeUproar. A big thank you goes out to our patrons over on Patreon who help make videos like this one possible. I especially want to thank our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Angel Cruz, Steelers, Poet Pablo, Atropos Wraith, $50 Beat, Ekarad GN, Anatoly Kazatsky, Lord Aberg, and Mateo. And are the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Anate, Matty Mac 239, Makoto Kun, and ya boy Seth. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll get access to our private patron-only Discord. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. And until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.